guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Kyyah aka Kyyah, back with another video. It's been about 2 weeks since I've uploaded anything. I've been really busy with work, so I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to explain the industry I'm in and how I ended up in it. So stick around and watch the entire video. So what is regulatory affairs and how did I end up in it? Before I started working for Pfizer, I was working at Yale University. I actually made a video about that because that was the worst job I ever had. While I was at Yale, I really wanted to leave. I was looking for jobs constantly, trying to figure out how I could make my way into a different company. So I was uploading my resume to all the different job platforms, and essentially I got a call back from a recruiter from Pfizer. I spoke to them for a little bit during my lunch break while I was still working at Yale at the time, and I told them I was interested. They sent me the job description, and it was for a lead regulatory affairs associate. All that I really got from it, I didn't really understand what regulatory affairs was at the time, but from the gist, I saw that I would be speaking with RNs, people with their MPHs, doctors, working with people from the preclinical to the clinical stage, making sure that drugs were getting approved and they met all the regs, reviewing different data from phase 1, 2, 3 clinical trials, working on post-marketing materials. So I thought, wow, that's a great opportunity. It'll give me a great perspective if I ever choose to continue with going to medical school. I'll understand medicine in a whole different light. I'll understand the study phases and I'll really understand different disease states. So I told them I was interested, and then 2 days later I got my offer letter, signed it, and I was on my merry way. So after I accepted the job, I started doing my own research to see exactly what is regulatory affairs and what do they do. So the high level explanation I always give people is it's a group of people who understand FDA regulations, and you're reviewing a whole bunch of different clinical documents, and that's from manufacturing to data from the study to post-marketing materials to make sure nothing is leading. You're reviewing everything that has to do with the drug that you're trying to get approved and market to the general public. You just want to make sure it checks off all those boxes. So that's the high-level explanation of what I give people, is that it's document review to make sure it meets regulations for drug approval. So that's how I ended up in regulatory affairs. I kind of just fell into it. I wasn't looking for any regulatory affairs jobs. It kind of just found me based on the fact that I had a lot of pharmaceutical experience while I was in college. And from there, I stayed in regulatory affairs roles. After Pfizer, I went to Amgen, which is biotech, but I remained in regulatory affairs for chemical manufacturing and compounding. And then now I ended up at a smaller pharmaceutical company, and what I love about my job now is I'm involved in so many different things. I'm involved in things from manufacturing, like I did at Amgen, to selecting CROs, to reviewing documents to make sure that they are up to regs, to reviewing marketing materials to make sure nothing's leading, to making sure that our drug is being marketed the right way to our target population, to assure that patients can trust that we're making decisions for their best interest. So everyone says, oh, pharma, it's all about the money. Small pharma is a lot different from big pharma. And even at Pfizer and Amgen, I didn't really feel that way. I felt as though everyone was genuinely there thinking of the patient's best interest, thinking of the general public, thinking of the population. And that's what the FDA is there for. It's to make sure that how is this going to help the general public? If it's not going to help the general public, then it's not something we want to put out there. Well, in-house regulatory for different pharmaceutical companies is supposed to make sure, that's essentially what's happening before it even reaches the FDA. So their review of the documentation can be as seamless as possible. I've worked in different regions, not just with the FDA. I've worked on drug development projects that have to do with Health Canada, that have to do with the Japan, Asia Pacific, China region, that have to do with the EMA, which is the European Medicines Agency. I think that's what they call it for short. So I've been given a great global perspective, and that's what I love about regulatory affairs, is that it encompasses medicine, it encompasses drug development, it encompasses public health. It just encompasses everything, and you get to see and learn so many different things. I love my job. I'm allowed to branch off in different parts of the company, which is wonderful. And yeah, do I love regulatory affairs? Yes, I do. I could talk about it all day long. I think people who are interested in pharmaceuticals or medicine in general, and they want to kind of get a broadened perspective of medicine, and you want to learn from a different lens, I say you should look into regulatory affairs jobs, look into medical affairs jobs for pharmaceutical companies as well, because that's a great way to learn. Look into research and development for pharmaceutical companies so you can be a part of their preclinical team or their clinical team when they're trying to figure out what drugs are we going to use to help different disease states. Do I plan on staying in regulatory affairs forever? I don't know. I really don't. don't know. I kind of just fell into it, and I'm still very, very interested in becoming a physician. I still want to go to medical school after I'm done with my master's. So I could ramble all day long. If anyone's interested in learning more about regulatory affairs, or you want to learn about different jobs in the pharmaceutical industry, go ahead and send me an email. I would love to have a conversation with you all about it, or whoever's interested. Visit careersavage.com for more information on how you can explore different parts of your industry so that you can figure out what it is you really want to do. And just to make everyone feel and know that they're not alone, I just said 2 seconds ago, I don't know how we're made in regulatory affairs. If I become a surgeon, I become a surgeon. If I become a VP of a pharmaceutical company, I become a VP of a pharmaceutical company. If I become VP of regulatory affairs, I remained in regulatory affairs. The cards will fall where they may. Thank you so much for watching, and check back every week for new YouTube videos.